Hey, Nuj, can you hear me?
Enable saving.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Thank you for joining the BMC webinar series, part one, which will talk about the BMC Remedy Connector for automation and around RPA and non-IT requests. Next slide, please. Just a few housekeeping notes. All participants are being placed on mute. The questions can be submitted through the questions tab as highlighted on the screen. And we will certainly leave some time for a Q&A at the end of this session. Next, please. Okay, so today's agenda, we'll cover IT service management aligned to BMC Remedy. We'll look at some of the building blocks and talk about business case for non-IT requests, an introduction to AutomationEdge solution around RPA. We'll also provide you with a demo, and then which will lead into a Q&A session. So let's get started. So, the evolution of a IT service management over the decades, commenced with a help desk, really as it started, if you will, then matured into a service desk enterprise management. And today it's, again, from service desk now into enterprise service management, digital service management, as BMC would call it. And really it can handle, quite amount of service requests for IT and, more importantly, non-IT. A good example of the maturity will be around IoT. When Industry 4.0 matures and you have all of these smart devices, and there's an error message can be fed into a enterprise service management system for triage, etc. So very exciting times for IT service management. As we move into the next slide. So traditionally, a BMC catalog would look very much what you see on the screen today. And, it's to a point where the business application request can actually be leveraged and extended the investment of BMC Remedy for non-IT requests. As you can see with facility services and things in this nature, the service management or enterprise service management has matured, where we can now extend it to many business functions in an enterprise. Next, please. So here you're looking at an example of the many different functions, if you will, that can be automated. Traditionally, we start from a low-tech process to more complex enterprise processes to fulfill service requests for non-IT. I'm sure some of you have already started down this journey, which is excellent. Some of the arrows, as you can see, are where a digital assistant, a bot, if you will, can perform these tasks effectively, 7 by 24 by 365, and freeing up, one of an enterprise's most important assets, which is their human capital. So it's certainly a good way to lower costs, improve service delivery, improve customer satisfaction, and increase governance from a standard operating procedure point of view. So why don't we move into the next screen and we'll just quickly talk about the business case that can be aligned to automating non-IT processes. So as you can see, there are some stats, if you will, on here. This is a sampling that we have taken from some of the service requests, if you will. However, this data resides in your BMC Remedy service management solution. So you can take a look at which ones of the service requests that should be automated. One of the industry analysts state basically it's $20 or roughly $20 per call, if you will, and the attention to that call. And the $20 really is based on offshore. So depending if you have your service desk being manned and with analysts offshore, nearshore, onshore, that number will vary. And so this is a good example on how you can take your data, use some of the industry averages, look at the high volume requests, and these are key candidates for automation as you start going down your journey. Productivity gains can be realized, and it's very key to get the digital assistants working on things that are mundane, that are repetitive, that are rule-based, to help you with your automation journey, which we all know is part of the digital transformation paradigm that's happening in the market. If we can move to the next slide, that would be great. And some of the savings is really critical to the success of your journey as well. So processing time can free up. We can reduce the time, reduce the costs. Yeah, time equals money. Again, it's all about improving your your service delivery, increasing customer sat, etc. And scalability again with the digital assistant or the bot can scale over time, 7/24, 365. You certainly remove the aspect of accuracy. Humans do make errors, and therefore when you have your digital assistant that is rule-based, this can help remove some of those errors and the costly rework of a given process. You certainly have human capital gains by doing more knowledge work or doing different aspects. I always look at a business case of end of month processing where you could have, X number of people and that process could take 10 days. Once you automate that process, you can certainly minimize the human aspect of it. And those associates can do more things like reading into the financial analyst data that they're putting together for the end of the month. And it can take, from 10 days, you can turn that into an overnight process. So, there's hard savings, there's soft savings, and certainly you can increase the compliance, by ensuring standard operating procedures. You can increase not only service delivery, but customer sat, and even to the point where you can increase employee satisfaction. Because sometimes these employees are doing the same thing day in, day out. They'd like to move on with their careers and do something more meaningful, more knowledge work, etc. So there are a lot of aspects to the benefits of automating non-IT tasks. Next slide, please. So I'd like to say that we certainly enjoy having a partnership with BMC. It's a technology partnership, but certainly also a go-to-market. The AutomationEdge solution can be actually downloaded from the BMC marketplace. You can also leverage the BMC partner ecosystem, and so we have those agreements in place. And yeah, very easy to get going with AutomationEdge's solution by simply either going to the BMC marketplace or reaching out to a BMC partner, BMC itself and their sales organization. And we can certainly, help you and support you in being successful with with um, with the AutomationEdge RPA solution. So next slide, please. And so as we go to the next slide, one of the things that we are also very proud of is being in the market reports from Gartner, the market guide report from Gartner in both the ITPA, the process automation, as well as in their robotic process automation. Certainly, we feel to have a end-to-end automation of a enterprise workflow, you really need both. You need RPA and the attributes and the solution from an RPA, as well as ITPA, because end-to-end digital workflows really require both of these type of solutions. And proud to say that we are the only RPA provider in both market guides from Gartner. And with that, I will turn it over to our CEO and co-founder, Uday. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Thanks, Ed. And so let me get you to the product, introduce the product and how it works. And so if you look at BMC Remedy Digital Service Management, there is a service desk where the end users go and raise a request through MyIT or the self-service interface. And then once the request is raised, it's assigned to a human queue, and somebody from the back office operations will take up that request and work on it. So now with AutomationEdge, what we do is we create a queue for these software robots. So that queue, so the certain service request then will start going to that queue, which is AutomationEdge picks up from and then goes and does action on the target systems. So let us look at some of these use cases where AutomationEdge can help. For example, somebody wants to update their personal information or want to apply for a leave or you want to kind of onboard a vendor. So when those requests come through the service desk, AutomationEdge, as I said, it picks up those requests from the queue and uses the RPA technology. So what is this RPA technology is, I will talk about it in the next slide, but essentially it is a surface-based automation. And it helps you reduce the cost and the time required to automate many things. So we do also have is ready action bots so that you don't have to only depend on the surface technologies. There are some of these ready actions, we have 400 of them, which go and kind of talk to different target systems, whether it's Salesforce or Remedy itself or Hadoop or many other helper tools like fuzzy match and things like that, which are very useful in automating non-IT requests. So how does this technology RPA, which is a buzzword nowadays, how does that work? So this is how the things work. Before RPA technology, there used to be the approach is to use APIs for everything, or what they call it as SOA BPM approach, which results into the projects being really long and months of effort or years of effort and a lot of money spent. So instead of that, to do a rapid automation, you can use this technology wherein wherever there are signature actions in the company, in the back office operations and business operations, where folks sitting there, they go to one screen, read some information from a business application, apply some rules, and enter the information into some other business application. For example, if I have to load an order, I go to Salesforce application or a sales application or a CRM, read the sales order, maybe apply some due diligence in terms of going to a USPS website, checking the address of the company who has ordered for some parts, and then do other due diligence in terms of existing customer or not, and then go and load that order into a ERP system so that delivery or manufacturing of that particular goods requested can be initiated. So that is where a human is sitting and going to one application, applying some rules and entering information into another system, which is ERP. So instead of doing that, we have software robots which mimic the human actions, and that you will see in the demo, wherein the software robots go and literally log in into a web application or a thick client, read a value from a text box, uh, allow you to enter some business logic, and then go and enter information into another application like an ERP system. So that's how RPA works. And if you can visualize this, that the way the technology is, you can practically automate every department. And especially today's topic is more about back office and non-IT's automation. And we'll focus there in terms of how this technology helps. But I think also you will be able to see now there are various other opportunities for you to expand the scope of the service management tool and kind of onboard many more functions, because they also then can get benefit of a remedy system where there is a request management, there is approval, and all of that workflows are out there, as well as help them automate those activities and get them fulfilled through AutomationEdge, instead of the current approaches they might be having in terms of emails, and tracking is difficult and a lot of folks involved, time delays and things like that. So so let us focus more in terms of the non-IT today. And this is about our overall product capability. We are RPA product, but we go much more and beyond RPA. And we have a webinar series, and we will cover some of these aspects in the next webinars in this series. So today we will focus mostly around RPA and business operations automation. In the next webinar, we will cover is how do you use this business operations and RPA technology as well as IT automation, and how can they go together in some of the use cases like employee onboarding, and we'll cover that in the next webinar. And the following webinar will cover about the cognitive capabilities of the product and how your service desk can be an intelligent service desk. So this is how, when we look at service catalog for non-IT, there may be kind of different requests for different departments. So let us look at what all requests which can be automated for different departments, right? Let's take a few examples. So for example, back office side, or even from an employee perspective, is that when they have to update a timesheet in your timesheet application or a ERP system, it's a most boring task and it's very time consuming for an employee. And if that can be automated, it saves a lot of time, cost, and employee satisfaction improvement. So those kind of a task, and Ed talked about it, that you can take a dump of your service management remedy system and in terms of categorized data, and look at the voluminous task where there is a high volume of tickets, or there is a delay in terms of time lag between the request and the resolution, or there are compliance issues and things like that. And those are the type and category of tickets you can possibly consider for automation. And they may look like some of these, right, which may be related to personal record updates of an employee and providing a self-service through a remedy system, or as I said, probably getting a time report, and the managers ask for the time report, and when they ask, then somebody from a back office has to go and collect all the time reports for the subordinates and send that in a zip file to the manager to look at, right? So or some employees may be very happy if they get a bonus letter or salary slip whenever they need by requesting it through a remedy system. And same way in terms of supplier creations or invoice processing, or for sales ordering loading an order, or for finance, it may be about reconciliation or delivering invoices. For a travel department, it may be related to reimbursement and expenses related automation, or as simple as conference room booking for admin department. And you can extend this, as I said earlier, a request management system for your business operations as well. And here we have taken an example of an insurance company and their business operations, where it may be there are different requests coming in terms of quotation for a new policy, or payouts, or adding an employee into a group policy and removing an employee from a group policy. So many such requests. And good thing is Remedy system provides all the approvals, traceability, and all of that. And once that it goes through all those steps, those requests can be automated as well. Right. So that here are the benefits of using AutomationEdge along with BMC Remedy. Remedy system, you don't have to write APIs or put a lot of development effort. It's a drag and drop automation for Remedy, and we have a wizard-based approach to integrate Remedy with AutomationEdge, and we'll see that during the demo. There is a rich library of ready actions, and then you essentially are providing an Uberization and an experience where the things are done faster, turnaround time is improved, and things like that for your employees, partners, vendors, and customers. So here's a one case study where this customer is using actually BMC Remedy system. It's a government agency, and they have used it for supplier management process and many more processes they have automated. But from a non-IT perspective, we have taken one example of their non-IT request, wherein this being a government agency, they have a lot of vendors to be onboarded for different departments within the government, so they could reduce the 50% of their service desk staff which are involved in the supplier creation. Errors are eliminated, and most importantly is there's a compliance, because when a supplier is added, there is a lot of sensitive information, bank details, and things like that, and you will have a complete traceability in terms of who has requested, who has approved, and then how is the due diligence happened through the software robots, and the software robot going and creating a supplier into a ERP system, and the time reducing from 15 minutes to 45 seconds to create a supplier. So with AutomationEdge now, as I said, it has a deep integration with the Remedy system, and we have made it available for free for one use case, and that is called as F3 bot, as well as you can request for a free trial for AutomationEdge system. With that, I would like to hand over this session to Seema, and she will cover the demo of the product, and then we'll take the question and answers. You can any questions. Yeah, if you have any questions, then you can type them in the questions window.
So this screen is the starting point of my demo. It is an easy-to-use self-service graphical catalog of MyIT to submit service requests. And as you see, it is conveniently categorized into HRMS service requests, admin service requests, finance service requests. And in large organizations, we have observed how HR, admin, finance, and other non-IT departments are inundated with large volumes of service requests. So in this demo, I will show how these service requests can be handled by AutomationEdge bots. So I'll be giving a demo on how vendor creation is automated and by AutomationEdge bots. And I'll also show how automation employee master is updated. And if time permitting, we'll do some more cases like conference room booking, applying leave. So first of all, let me show the demo, a video demo of vendor creation. This use case was discussed by Uday, like how it's benefiting in the government agency. So this is a starting point where we see an e-business, Oracle e-business suite application, and we are querying a supplier, IT first, and we see that there's no supplier of this name. Yeah. So now we are on MyIT and MyIT catalog. So we browse by the business request non-IT category, and we locate the create supplier in Oracle. So that is, we click that particular service request. Now this entry of service request has started. The service request details are being filled up. So the supply is usually a very long, lot of information to be entered. So I'll just skip that part and let me go a little further. Yeah. So as we see, this request from my IT has already come to Remedy. And these were the details of the different attributes that were supplied during SR creation. And if we go into the details and process view, we get the work order number. And over here, we can see that the support group name was AutomationEdge. So this request was fulfilled by AutomationEdge bot. And we see it is already completed. So the supply was creation in hardly a few seconds. And if you now query for the supplier, it's already created. And we can see the update on my IT side. The status is complete. Okay, so this was the first demo, and let me take you to the next. Okay, so before I show the live demo for employee master data update, let me walk you through this particular process. So it consists of 5 systems. So the request is first submitted in the Remedy system, my IT and Remedy. Service request is submitted, and it is assigned to AutomationEdge bot. So once assigned to AutomationEdge, AutomationEdge talks to the target HRMS system in this case, and it checks whether the employee is valid and the employee is present in HRMS. So if the employee is present and is active, the employee data will be updated as per the service request, and the result message will be sent back to AutomationEdge, and the service request will be closed. If employee is not active, then a failure message is sent to AutomationEdge, and the human is assigned for this particular ticket. So this flow is the same thing that I will be demonstrating live. So let us go to the My IT catalog again, and I'll start the employee master data update service request. Yeah, so this is the SR page for employee master data update. First of all, we will search for the employee named John Miller in our HRMS system. So we'll see the details of this employee, and we'll focus on a few fields like, say, driver's license or expiry date or marital status, because we'll be modifying these. So let us provide the service request details. So we're changing the marital status. We're providing driving license details. So we've given license number T6788 and so on. We're choosing the expiry date a few years from now. And we submitted the request. So it shows that the request has been submitted. Next, we go and check the status. So it shows that request ID 297 has been initiated. So if we see on the Remedy side as well, we can see that the request 297 has come to Remedy as well. And now we check on AutomationEdge side. So we'll just wait while the request is queued on AutomationEdge. Yeah. So the new request has now been assigned to AutomationEdge bot, and execution started. So now the GUI automation has started. AutomationEdge has logged into Orange HRMS. It has gone to the employee list page, and it is searching for that 0016 employee that we had updated. So it goes to the employee form, employee details page, and gives the driver's license number, license expiry date. So that execution was very fast, and it shows that the execution is complete. And if you go on my IT site, we can see the status is complete. Okay, so this from the front end we saw how end-to-end execution is done by the bot. The fulfillment is done by the bot. Now, in this approach, we had an integration app between AutomationEdge and Remedy. Now, there is a second approach that also is very convenient to use. That is the Process Studio approach, plugins approach. So there are two things I'll show in the plugins. First of all, let me show you the backend workflow that was being used for this integration app-based service request fulfillment. So this is how the workflow looks. It looks huge, but it is a very easy to build drag and drop web GUI automation. Okay, so things like logging into the Oracle, the HRMS system. Okay, looking for the employee, searching for the employee, and if employee not found, then giving a message accordingly, and then updating all the details such as marital status or middle name or driver's license and so on. So everything was handled by this workflow. Let me show you how it was done graphically. So this is a blank slate. So it's an easy to drag and drop. So we have this web GUI plugin. So if you want to click anything, you drag and drop web click step. If you want to set a value in the browser, you can use the web set value and so on. Okay, and so that was web GUI automation. And then I can show you, I want to show you another one. I was talking about the other approach. So the other approach is to use a Ready plugin with Remedy, a plugin for Remedy, where you can directly read data from Remedy or update data in Remedy or insert data in Remedy. Okay, so suppose I want to get a particular work order, and all I did was simply drag and drop these plugins on this canvas. So if I want to get some details of a particular, say in this case, I got the details of a particular work order number. So suppose if it is a case of employee onboarding, I can get all the details here, and these details can be further used for other enhanced fulfillment of requests. So if I get a work order for employee onboarding, I can further go and do the employee onboarding using another subsequent workflow. So these were the two kind of approaches that I wanted to highlight. Yeah. Yeah. So this plugin-based approach is drag and drop, and the other integration-based approach is wizard-based completely. So through the wizard, okay, through the wizard-based approach, you can easily map workflows to Remedy system. So with this, I would like to stop here on the demo, and I would like to hand back to Ed for the Q&A. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Hey, thank you, Seema. Greatly appreciated. Just wait for the slides to come up. But as you can see, we have the next two parts of the seminar series, and we look forward to your participation as well. And at this point, we can open it up for Q&A. And I think Nilesh, you will, or Uday.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
there are questions which have started coming in. So let me go one by one. And so first question is, will it be possible to get a copy of this presentation? Yes, of course, you will get the copy as well as you will get the recording of this session. Yeah, so the next question is, does this solution work only with digital workplace or Remedy Smart IT 8.x as well? So the solution will work with Remedy Smart IT 8.x as well. The solution has a deep integration both at an app level as well as at a plugin level, wherein it can navigate through and read various forms and the fields in various forms in Remedy system. The next question is, can we have access to the demo and perform our self-testing? Yes, of course. So we do provide a trial instance, and we do provide training and handholding as well, and you can do the testing yourself. We have a cloud-based AutomationEdge instance, which is hosted in Amazon EC2 on-demand.automationedge.com. And you don't have to set up a server, and you will be just basically setting up as an agent in your environment, or in fact use the agent in the cloud as well, and test various IT or non-IT automation requests. Right, so what is the advantage to compare with compare with other RPA tools, right? The question is on where we stand as far as the RPA tools are concerned. So we do have big competitive advantages, and probably you would have seen the wheel, the AutomationEdge wheel. It will give you a lot of pointers in terms of the way our approach is in terms of looking at this field and having an enterprise-wide automation. The next question is, can this solution be integrated with chatbot solutions of BMC or otherwise? Yeah, so many of our customers use AutomationEdge with chatbots, and the chatbots can be as simple as requesting and complaining for certain non-IT or IT requests or complaints and incidents, and the AutomationEdge going and creating tickets in Remedy system, or getting a status from Remedy system, or for that matter, automated resolution of those requests from a chatbot going to a Remedy system, and automated resolution as well. Next question is, what is your cost model? So it's basically the pricing commercials are based on number of digital workers or these robot agents that you need, and that depends on amount of volume of transactions that you might have. And the way we have architected the product, it has a lot of multi-threading and parallel processing within the robot agent, unlike peers, and that gives you a lot of advantage in terms of optimizing your investment in the hardware and maintenance. And apart from that there are these ready actions which you kind of use, and all that is, the licensing is subscription based. Right, so next question is, what are the rough timelines in terms of automating certain kind of HR requests or other department requests? So idea of RPA technology is that achieving automation in days and weeks instead of months and years. So that's kind of at a rough cut level, I can say. So we have seen our customers who are automating some of their processes in a week's time as well, and some of them taking a couple of weeks for simple to medium complex processes. So, in terms of a few of the questions are in terms of our architecture. So the architecture is that it has the architecture of horizontal scaling, wherein you can, as the volume of tickets are increasing, and you need more agents, you can go on adding more agents there. So so this is a question for you, Ed. So we are a company based out of US, and we do want to kind of partner with AutomationEdge, and what are the steps for that?
Yeah, so thanks for the question, and certainly we would like to engage in a conversation on how to, what's your business model, align with our business model, work on a business value proposition, and on board as a partner. We enable our partners both on the sales side as well as the technology side, and we support our partners in every step of the way during that process. So we have a program. We provide a lot of different things for our partners, whether they're artifacts, again, enablement on the sales side, the technology side, and provide an environment for you from a trialing point of view so that you can enable your associates, you can demo the product to your prospects, etc. So yeah, please be in touch. My email is right on the screen. And I'll hear from you.
Yeah, so the next question is, can one use this ERP tool to collect data from SAP to Oracle without storing into BMC system? Yeah, so it needn't, or it will not store any information into BMC system. BMC system is more for request and approvals, and once the approval is done and assigned, the work is assigned to a particular queue of AutomationEdge, it picks up and it will go and do all those actions. And the use case may be collect the data from SAP system and then go and update that information into an Oracle ERP system or an Oracle database. That will work. The data will not be kept or copied into a BMC system. So the next question is in terms of the training, right? So do you provide training for this product, and how long is the training, and is there a certification available? Ed, do you want to take that question?
Yeah, so we provide training for both partners as well as customers. We hold them periodically. If there's a on-demand type of request, then certainly we can accommodate. And certainly there is a certification process so that you can become AutomationEdge certified, so that when either you're building the end work in your organization, or you are a partner and delivering a service to a customer, you'll be well recognized as a certified partner on the AutomationEdge platform. So yes, we do provide that training.
Right. Okay. So with that, we are at the top of this 45 minutes allotted for this session. So there are few still more questions coming in. So we will take those and those will be available with us, and we'll send the information back to you one-to-one. And even if you have any more questions, you can send a mail and mail ID mentioned on this slide. And thank you for your participation today, and we look forward to welcome you again in our next webinars, which one is on IT and non-IT's automation, and another is intelligent service desk with machine learning and AI. So thank you. Thanks all of you again.
Yes, thanks everybody. Have a great day, great evening, great afternoon.